Hello, my name is Monty. Welcome to Mondays with Monty. I have cerebral palsy, and this channel is just going to explore what it's done to my life.
All right. So we're going to be here together answering some questions. You want to tell them who I am?
I'm here with Kat, who's going to ask me some questions, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
All right. So Monty, how old are you?
I'm 58 years old.
All right. Where are you from?
I was born in Munich, Germany.
Okay, but where do you currently live?
I live in San Antonio.
San Antonio, Texas?
San Antonio, Texas.
So you've been all over the world, huh?
A little bit, but not as far as many others.
Okay. So how do you feel that CP, or cerebral palsy, has affected you in living all over the world?
Cerebral palsy has taught me the appreciation of being able to do things.
Okay, that sounds good. So you're 58 years old. You live currently in San Antonio. What kind of things do you like to do for fun, or what are some things that interest you?
Things that interest me are things like shooting at a target with a pistol, which I do not do very well, but I enjoy it. Talking to people about other issues than CP to broaden my horizons.
Okay, what are some issues that you like to talk to people about?
On that question, the board is wide open. I'll talk to people about whatever they're willing to discuss. The mistake I've made, though, is sometimes I'll start a topic that someone is not comfortable with, and I've had to learn the ways to change the topic.
Okay, so you're still kind of learning how to make appropriate conversation with people?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hey, I think that everybody kind of struggles with that, so that's all right. Everybody, I'm sure, has things that they want to talk about with people, and then they realize going into that conversation that maybe that person doesn't want to talk about that, and so you say, you know what? New topic. Let's talk about something else, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Okay. So, let's see. You like to shoot targets. I didn't know that. I've known you now, what, a year? And I didn't know you like to shoot guns. How long have you been doing that?
I haven't been able to do it lately, but I've done it a little bit most of my life.
How'd you get into that?
It was just something that my father started with me because it was something I could do sitting down, and it's just something I learned an appreciation for.
Okay, that's really cool. So have you only shot with pistols, or have you ever tried bow and arrow, or have you ever tried like a bow gun or anything like that?
No, ma'am, I've stuck to just pistols because they're easier for me to hold on to.
Okay, that's pretty interesting, Monty. I never knew that about you. So you said that your father told you or taught you that. What was your family like? I know now, maybe tell YouTube, how you live. Who do you live with? And you can explain maybe a little bit about your past.
Well, I lived in a very positive family. When I was born and we discovered I had cerebral palsy, it was discussed that maybe I should be given up for adoption because the doctors were afraid I would be too much to handle. But my parents just said, this is what God gave us, and so we'll work with it. So off of that inspiration, everything seemed normal to me. And today, people appreciate the ADA. I appreciate it, but you can learn to work without it if you're able to think a different way.
Okay, so when you were growing up, you didn't really have the Americans with Disabilities Act, did you?
No, ma'am.
So you had to learn how to navigate your world without accessibility tools and without the laws that we now have today.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you were to meet a young person who's growing up with the Americans with Disabilities Act, what kind of tips and hints would you give them if they found themselves struggling with accessibility or with getting around, since you had to live a good portion of your life without all that?
Well, first I would advocate for the ADA. If they could find an easier way to get in or do something, go for it. But if they couldn't, to appreciate the fact that if they want to do something, they can find a way. Usually. It may take the help of other people, but most of the time people don't mind.
Yeah, okay. So I know that you currently live in an ADA built home. So your home is based around the Americans with Disabilities Act. Can you tell YouTube a little bit about where you live in your neighborhood?
I live in an ADA apartment that is 600 square feet. I live in a cul-de-sac with 18 other units. There are 9 units, but they're duplexes. So there's 2 to each unit. The neighborhood that I live in is primarily Spanish, but most of the people are very nice. There isn't anyone that isn't nice. It's just some are more willing to be known and come out in the evening than some are not.
Okay. So what about your apartment? What makes this accessible for you?
Well, I can fit my wheelchair in some basic areas, like under the kitchen sink, and I'm able to use the bathroom. And that is a big help because that allows me some independence.
Okay. That's pretty cool, Monty. Yeah, and I know too that like you have ramps all around your neighborhood, so you're able to kind of get around the cul-de-sac. There is the gazebo. You have a gazebo outside that you like to go to. And you can fit your wheelchair under that so you can go out and play card games.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff is pretty cool. So I know before we made this video, you kind of gave me some topics that you'd like to talk about. And I think it'd be good to keep these videos at about 10 minutes. So maybe today we'll just talk about one of these. So we've talked a lot about, in this video, about accessibility. So one of the topics you gave me last time that we talked was challenges with accessibility and how it affects your life. So how do you think you have had challenges with accessibility, and how has that affected your life?
Well, I think the biggest challenge is as I get older, believe that I can still do it. And the ADA has allowed me more opportunity than I would have had before. But the biggest thing I have to overcome is my own fear about doing it now. I also suffer from depression, and I think the depression controls my life a lot more than I realize, and it gives me a certain level of fear that I need to work through.
Okay, and so that's something that you've been working hard on though, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I know for the past year that I've worked with you that I've seen you come more and more out of your shell. You've been able to go out more. You used to be very afraid to go out and do things, but recently, were two places that you went that you enjoyed?
Well, I've been to the um, art museum recently. That was enjoyable. And then I've been to where? Help me remember.
Place with all the animals.
Oh, I've been to the animal shelter.
What was across the street from there?
Across the street from there was the zoo.
And you got to go for free.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Yeah, what'd you think about that?
Most of the animals were asleep, but it was fun to go.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. So, what is something, we'll go ahead and end our first video here, since we're hitting about the 11-minute mark. That's okay. What's some closing statements that you want to make? What are some questions that maybe you have for others out there?
I just hope that I will be able to speak clearly and precise, and if I'm able to help someone else, I have succeeded in what I wanted to do.
All right. And so when can they look forward to your next video?
Mondays with Monty.
All right. So every Monday, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, signing off. A lot of newscasters, they'll have a sign-off phrase like, "That's the way the cookie crumbles." What do you think your phrase is? Or are you going to work on it?
Hope to see me next Monday.
Hope to see me next Monday. I like it. All right, YouTube. We'll see you later. Have a good day. I'm going to give them a wave.
Bye.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.